So I don't know how you can say this as like a lefty. There's no way you can seriously say this as a lefty. I don't care. I don't care. It's a game. It's cartoons. What is this guy even talking about? What? I've not even heard this. That's a sort of low IQ sped that you've cultivated in your audience, Xanderhal, obviously. It's almost like you waited until there was absolutely nothing you could lose, no possible drawback to keep calling him out, and then you called it out, despite knowing about it the whole time. Oh, I've got it. Guys, we've got it. We've got it. We've got Nux content. Okay. Key alert coming in. Nux content. Nux alert. Posted on YouTube Drama 2 hours ago. Nux, arbiter of chaos, Taku, claims he's getting cancelled for stupid reasons by leftist political YouTubers. And I just so happen to know who he's talking about. It's Xanderhal. Nux versus Xanderhal? Oh boy! My favorite! Oh boy! My favorites! Let's go! It's just memes, man. It's just memes. Okay, let's see what Nux has to say about this, then go investigate a little bit more.
I like Hell of a Boss immensely, but I have an innate love and support for things that are canceled on Twitter for reasons. It just makes me appreciate them more. It is how I lead my life. If you're canceled for stupid reasons, you have my support. As someone that's canceled daily for stupid reasons, and I mean daily, they've been ramping up the Nuxtaku cancellation. It's been fun. The new claim against me, and this one's great because
it's been fun. That's why he sits on a 200 viewer kick stream, never talks to anyone about it, just lays there in misery, making cope responses every week. It's so much fun. Why don't you get on a stream and like argue with someone about one of these things, Nux, if it's so much fun going through the ringer?
It's been fun. The new claim against me, and this one's great because this comes from leftist political YouTubers. So that's how you know that it's very, very important. The reason why I react to Adventure Time is because I'm trying to lull in a child audience, and then they called me a which is pretty gross. But anyway, this is
based. Hello, that's about the treatment you deserve. Isn't that how you've been to other people, Nux? Sorry, this is the guy that just totally co-signed allegations against Magnetar without a second thought. Co-signed allegations against Tiger without knowing the details.
This is what we're up against, all right? This is the level of brain rot that we're up against, all right? I don't know, my chat told me that. If that's not true, whoever made that hour-long video, I do apologize. That is what my chat told me, and I believe them wholeheartedly. I did not watch your video.
Wow, thank you, Nux. So he doesn't even know what the complaints are. Wow. Thank you for the $5 New Zealand Zesty Lemon character having a little laugh. Thank you, Quella.
Just believing Chad blindly on this one. But anyway, the new Hell of a Boss situation is insane. People are mad. I am here. Let's go. Arbiter of Chaos is what we do. Subscribe for more chaos. I am here for to chaos.
God, he is so cringe. Let's watch Xanderhal's video. I feel like that's probably the best place to start here, is it not? Is it not? It's over an hour long, sadly. Sadly here. Oh god, the Xanderhal theme song. Oh no. Oh brother.
Alright everybody. This segment might possibly end up getting me involved in a little bit of drama. Okay?
Unlikely.
Because
Very
I am
unlikely.
talking
No one
about,
gives a about you,
tangentially talking about someone, I guess, who you could consider kind of a friend of the show to a degree. And that is the YouTuber, Some Ordinary Gamers, aka Mudahar.
Wait, Muda is a friend of the show to Xanderhal. What? Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, Isu. Since when is Mudahar a Xanderhal friend of the show? Someone fill me in on this? Anyone got any idea? Yeah, everyone's saying how, when, in what universe, what? Yeah, I don't...
Though we're not really talking about specifically him tonight, we're going to be talking about something relating to him, and the video that we're going to be covering and watching that goes over this definitely does not paint Mudahar in a very positive light. Elements, I will say, the stream has had no issues for anyone else,
lazy,
so it might just be you.
I should be lazy.
Unless no one else has reported it. Anyway, obviously, I like Mudahar. I think he's a chill guy. I think he makes good videos. I think he makes pretty good arguments and tends to be a well-reasoned person. I actually, originally, he became aware of my existence because I called him out in a video where he he had basically claimed that the
Okay, Xanderhal is very
Anti-Defamation
fucking
League
boring. We
had,
gotta speed
claimed
this up.
that Pepe the Frog was a hate symbol. That like if you use Pepe the Frog in memes or like the imagery of him, then you're essentially doing the same as posting like a swastika or something. And he did show the first page, like the first like paragraph and title of the ADL page for Pepe the Frog. And he didn't really elaborate much on that, but I did go on to show the rest of that page.
Dude, Xanderhal might be the only guy where I can cam up and sit here and I'm like, I'm not like the least, I'm not like the most malnourished, you know, on the brink of on death's doorstep person on the screen at the time. I can put both of us on. I can say, wow, I'm not the most sickly looking AIDS-ridden one here. Oh wow, that's crazy. I don't look like the one who's just come out of a camp in a certain period of history.
Where it goes on to say that, like, actually, no, Pepe the Frog is not always a Nazi symbol. He's a very popular meme, and people use Pepe completely innocuously all the time, so it is up to the person evaluating the post to determine whether or not it's being used in a racist way or not, since it has to be considered on a case-by-case basis. Very reasonable take. The most reasonable take you could have of something like that, and I pointed this out. Mudahar saw this and was like, oh, I didn't know that the art that it goes on to say that. I actually, my mistake. And he was chill with me after that. There was no drama. Like, he responded very chill and like very mature and normal to my, you know, not very serious criticism. I never thought he was like far right or anything. I just thought he had an unfortunate blunder in his reporting that might play into the hands of a certain political side with untrue claims it's made in the past. So I like Mudahar. I want to be very clear here. I have no hate for Mudahar, but he's made a little bit of an oopsie doopsie, and that's what gets called out in this video. But it's not so much the oopsie that Mudahar made that I want to call out. It's the fact that Mudahar is so far from being the only person to make this blunder, and I have been calling this out for a while now. And I feel this is finally a great opportunity to point to how YouTube content creators have looked past extremely disturbing types of content and large disturbing content creators for a while now. So for a little background, how many of you are familiar with the YouTuber Nuxtaku?
Get to the point, Domi.
Then at all, then you probably know of this meme. The worst thing to ever be created.
Oh, here we go.
He's the guy who wrote and sung this absolutely cognito hazardous video.
Is he going to play it? What? He's not going to play the full thing. I've just seen the preview. Fuck. I'm the chat type, Barry Potter's mad type, Monka is mad type, and Big Daddy rat type, Twitch is hentai.
So, from that video alone, I think you get an idea of what this guy's deal is. He is,
yep.
He has possibly the most obnoxious voice that could
Did this even play well with his audience? I think it might have played well with his core audience, but it left that audience and everyone was ripping on it. And so he removed the video.
Possibly ever be manufactured, even in the darkest depths of hell. It's just like nails on a chalkboard just to listen to for me, I have to say. I genuinely despise his voice. Guys, this might surprise you. What do you think Nuxtaku looks like in real life? I assumed...
this guy's an idiot. I thought he was about to pull up some kind of illicitly obtained doxing information. But he's not. He's a fucking idiot. He's about to fall for a fake face reveal picture. He's about to fall for a fake face reveal picture.
A guy like this has to be, like, as weird looking as a guy can be, right? Are you ready to see someone disturbingly normal looking behind that profile picture? This is what he looks like.
That's not him. I don't believe this is him. This is someone else, isn't it? Pretty sure this is a different guy. Totally different guy. I'm pretty sure.
Actually disturbing how normal he looks. It's not even that he's like a good looking guy. He's just a normal looking guy. No way, what? Yeah, I know. I was surprised too. Yeah, he looks like Tyler Oakley.
It's not,
I was like, what?
It's not him.
Why does he look like,
it's not
why does he look like a well-to-do British gay dude? That was the immediate reaction I had. Like, I didn't expect him to look British and gay. Like, that was not my expectation. I don't know why, but he just has...
Xanderhal can say that. You look gay.
British vibes here. He looks British to me. Don't know why. Maybe it's just how pale...
I suppose you can't... He's already at 200 viewers. How much more can he lose? Dude, it's actually crazy how far his career's gone, dude. 200, dude.
He is in the glasses and
just
give British vibes. He seems British and a little gay. A little bit gay. A little bit like a well-groomed... He's got that nice clean shave and everything. He definitely cares for his hygiene well, or at least did for this photo. More than most straight men that I know. So I will say I was quite surprised. However, if you know anything else about Nuxtaku, you can probably tell what his politics are, judging by the fact he seems to have a pretty strong distaste for Twitch girls who show a lot of booba. Not just that, he's, you know, gone on long rants about, like, cringe, woke, SJW, that kind of stuff. He's very publicly conservative, like, right-leaning. But it's not just that. If you've seen his content, then there is really one word you have to describe this guy, and that is gooner. Nuxtaku is a fucking gooner, and skates uncomfortably close to lolicon territory very often. And if you watch his content, I don't watch it, but I've seen his videos recommended, you'll see that he does a lot of videos, either A, reacting to hentai, or B, reacting to episodes of children's shows. So half of his videos are him reacting to, like, episodes of children's shows, which obviously attracts a younger audience, and the other half of his videos are him reacting sometimes to, as uncensored as he possibly can get away with, hentai. And in some cases, the hentai is lolicon, and sometimes the hentai is incest hentai, and sometimes it's both. And he reacts to and reviews it for the memes, ironically, on his show. Does this sound like anything to you guys? Does this sound familiar to you guys? Sounds to me a lot like Shadman. Man, you guys gotta get Vaush off your mind. This is not similar to like anything to do with
Well, he actually wanted to collab with Shadman.
Situation. This sounds like Shadman to me, is what it sounds like. Because Nuxtaku, friends with a lot of big YouTubers, publicly, at the very least lolicon adjacent, frequently posting pornographic content for a heavily minor-leaning audience. If you read the comments on his videos where it's him reacting to hentai, a lot of the comments are things like, dude, what...
Xanderhal needs to calm down. It's just memes, man. It's just memes, man.
The fuck I'm 11, dude. What the fuck I'm 10? And it's not like adults commenting that as a joke, like it's a meme in his community or whatever. That you can tell from the profile pictures, the names, the way that these comments are written. They're from actual kids who are like, what the fuck did I just watch on this guy's channel? It's like half the channel is bait to bring in kids, and the other half is either at best meant to traumatize kids. At worst, there's some sort of sick desire being fulfilled by showing kids.
Yeah, I think Xanderhal, okay, look, I'll sit here and mock Xanderhal all day. I'll shit on Xanderhal anytime. I hate Xanderhal. Rant out, you know what I mean. Fuck Xanderhal, okay? But that is a pretty good summary of what the core complaint is. Nux's channel obviously is targeted basically at young teens. And it is just highlighting porn. That's the whole thing. That's the whole channel. Highlighting porn to young teens. That is the channel. That is the point.
This type of content. So a smaller creator by the name of Nikandros made this video called Mudahar Noot because recently Nuxtaku had his associations with Shadman, the Nazi lolicon artist, exposed. Shouldn't surprise you, those two were friends at all. And while I did draw the comparison between the two because they knew each other, they're friends, that is a fact that exists, I also think even outside of them, even if they didn't know each other, these two situations are so similar to me. And I want to dig deep into it. So Nikandros made this video because recently Nuxtaku has been getting canceled for his associations with Shadman. And because of these associations with Shadman, people are looking deep into every big YouTuber who is associated and supported and collab with Nuxtaku. One of these content creators is Mudahar. Other content creators include Turkey Tom, Oompaville. I mean, think of a large content creator. If they lean even remotely centrist or right, they've definitely collabed with Nuxtaku. Because Nuxtaku's whole thing is getting clout off of content collabs. And this content creator called out Mudahar for, well, Mudahar would rather you did not have an accurate reminiscence of how close he was to Nuxtaku. And I'm sorry, Mudah, if you see this video and you don't like that I'm talking about it. I'm not going after you. I don't think people should cancel you for this. In fact, that's the opposite of the claim I'm trying to make here. In fact, I'm going to argue that the thing that people canceled...
Is Nux right-leaning? Nux is broadly apolitical. Not because I think he has no political beliefs, but because he's a fucking coward. Like most of these YouTubers. But he engages in the anti-woke sort of content. You know, he does quite a bit of you know, whoa, here's why modern Disney Star Wars sucks sort of thing, you know. He does that sort of thing. So I can see why it might, if you don't actually look at it or if you don't think about it too much, it can come off right-leaning. It does. It definitely appeals to a right-leaning audience. Because it's like a culture war issue, and he takes sort of like the right-leaning side.
Chris Tyson for, initially, which was the having quote-unquote been a fan of Shadman, and Mudahar having associated with Nuxtaku, is not these YouTubers secretly showing that they're pro-pedophilia or something. In reality, it is a tendency for content creators to enable bad actors like Shadman and Nuxtaku until there is enough ill will against those figures that they are forced into a situation to be against them. But before then, no one wants to be the first person to call out that bad behavior and burn a bridge with a large, well-respected YouTuber. A good example of a figure who is blowing up and thriving right now, despite being a publicly open lolicon, or two content creators in this realm, are Pipka Pipkin, a really large, like, Nazi alt-right like anime girl VTuber, and Red Desu, who is a male lolicon who uses like a 12-year-old girl vampire lolly profile picture, or not profile picture, VTuber avatar, VTuber rig, and makes pro lolicon content. I actually discovered him and started covering him when he made a video about how Cyberpunk Edge Runners was based because they said that lolicon was good or something. Like there was something to do with like a character of Rebecca, where despite her being an adult, lolicons were trying to claim that she was a lolly, and that people memeing about how they like Rebecca means that Edge Runners has tricked the normie anime fans into admitting that lolicon is good. That was the claim from Rev Says Desu that I covered that initially had me cover, like, you know, going over his stuff. There are a lot of content creators, especially in the VTuber sphere, that are borderline, if not openly, pedophilic. And they're popular. They collab with big YouTubers because at the end of the day, they have
Okay, Xanderhal. Sorry, I don't know how you can say this as like a lefty. Like you're just like, oh yeah, anyone that's a lolicon is an open pedophile. There's no way you can seriously say this as a lefty. When who do you think is consuming a lot of this stuff? Who do you think? This is like very popular in like LGBT communities. That's like kind of where a lot of the fans come from.
a massive audience, and no one wants to be the first person to call them out. In the case of me, when I called out Rev Says Desu, my channel received multiple false strikes in the months after I would cover Rev Says Desu anytime, because the lolicons are so obsessive, they will false strike you non-stop. They will go after you.
To be anti-pedophile online. For some reason, my stream just disconnected for a second there. Don't know why. Really don't know why that happened. Very annoying. We're back, though. We are back. We are back. We're back here. We're here. Yeah, Xanderhal trying to claim that it's actually really brave to be anti-pedophile online. That for being anti-pedophile, for being anti-lolicon, you actually get so much shit. It's actually so difficult to be anti-lolicon online. It's the easiest position in the fucking world. It's the easiest position in the world. Literally the easiest one to hold ever. The easiest virtue signal is to go, all lolicons are pedophiles. Everyone who's ever lolicons are pedophiles. It's the easiest thing to say in the world.
against all of them. The only way for pedophiles to exist and have community online is protect each other, and they protect each other violently and viciously. If you call out one pedophile with any audience or a community around them, their friends.
A lot of femboys like Lolicon and Shota. That is because being the attraction to femboys is inherently adjacent to pedophilia, because a male who is androgynous, and a female who's androgynous, but androgynous characters are those without those without the extra sexual characteristics that come from development, right? Or primary as well, I guess. I think primary as well. Yeah. It's like the androgyny, that's part of being undeveloped. A small, you know, there's no way to distinguish in anime between like a small 18-year-old guy who's got no hair, is really tiny and is in girls' clothes, and like just a child girl or a child boy that just looks like a child. That's all you're getting off to there, but whatever.
Friends and their fans will come after you hard because they have to protect each other. They're bad people who want to do bad things. They know what most people would do to them if they could, and they know they've got to stay together like a herd. Otherwise, normal people are going to, you know, call them out, single them out, laugh at them, humiliate them, call them out for what they are, and everyone will laugh, and that'll be the best case scenario for them, right? And so this YouTuber called out Nuxtaku for a lot of his like cringe, creepy stuff he's done, which obviously I want to go over here, but also other big YouTubers who have collabed with Nuxtaku. And I want to elaborate further into how this tendency, how like we need to create a culture on YouTube where creators feel that clout and collab hype is not worth normalizing someone who is as evidently fucked in the head as Nuxtaku. Let's watch this video. I've already seen it, by the way, which is why I decided to cover it. It was recommended in my Discord server, and I watched it because the thumbnail and title seemed interesting. I did not expect this YouTuber to do such a good job breaking the situation down and substantiating their points. Let's watch it.
In the aftermath of the confrontation between ChatLogic and Mutaha, the Mutaha's podcast.
Okay, I don't know if I can
Nuxtaku's
just watch this whole fucking video again. We might have to skip through some of it.
If anyone wants my bias on this, like where my biases would realistically lie if I wasn't being objective, I'm on friendly terms with Mutahar. ChudLogic has lied and claimed that I have like AIDS, and his editor has wished death on.
Let's go! Let's go! He lied and claimed I had AIDS. I think that's called a joke, Xanderhal. I think that's a joke. It's a joke about you being skinny and malnourished and looking like you're gonna die, which, you know, you're the only person I can say this to. You do look like you've got AIDS. Let's be serious here. It's funny because it maps onto an element of truth.
Why I decided to cover it. It was recommended in my Discord server, and I watched it because the thumbnail and title seemed interesting. I did not expect this YouTuber to do such a good job breaking the situation down and substantiating their points. Let's watch it.
In the aftermath of the confrontation between ChatLogic and Mutaha, the Mutaha's podcast co-host Nuxtaku's content.
Mind you, by the way, if anyone wants my bias on this, like where my biases would realistically lie if I wasn't being objective, I'm on friendly terms with Mutahar. ChudLogic has lied and claimed that I have like AIDS, and his editor has wished death on me when I announced that I had COVID. I believe another person involved in this who's called out Nuxtaku here, and Mutahar, is Turkey Tom, who also hates me. I could go down the list of people who are actually with the platform calling this shit out, and calling out Mutahar and Nux. They all hate me, ironically enough. They're people who have due to completely separate drama in the past with politics and stuff. They fucking hate me. And yet, I'm still taking their side in this whole thing, because they're the only—
Doesn't everyone fucking hate that? Does this guy never wake up and think, like, what did I do to make everyone hate me? Does this guy never wake up and just go, wow, where did I go wrong to where everyone fucking hates me? I feel like he should be asking this question, though.
Only motherfuckers out here that seem to have the balls to call out this shit, to call out this tendency for large normie content creators to associate and normalize people like Nuxtaku. And hey, ChudLogic may be a shithead, but I respect the fact that he's actually talking about this. Hell, in a way, him talking about this got it into my attention. So, if you really follow the line here, because Nicandros made a video about this drama, and I'm watching Nicandros' video.
People have made allegations that Mutaha knew much more than what he initially let on, and that the relationship between them was much closer than how Mutaha characterized it to ChatLogic on livestream.
We're not doing podcasts anymore. It's done. Why? We're supposed to film on Tuesday. Well, there's a couple reasons for it. A lot of that was obviously some of the chat stuff too, because we were kind of sitting there like, me and Caleb, we were just like, it's weird. We haven't done like a full background look on what his content is or anything. Obviously, I was on a few collaborations with him when he was doing like fucking memes and like the game shows with like 15 fucking creators. That's pretty much the extent.
So I need you guys to understand why I got so triggered by the Mr. Beast cancellation, even though I agree with it. The thing that canceled Mr. Beast first. To be clear, let me break down the timeline of events. For years, allegations came out against Mr. Beast claiming that he mistreated his workers, that he made up videos, that they were lies and staged, that he was paying people off to make the videos look better. Multiple ex-employees of Mr. Beast came out, and the response from the internet was, yeah, right, buddy, he's the guy who builds wells in Africa. Nobody was willing to call out Mr. Beast. Nobody who called out Mr. Beast got any support. It was an immediate flood of personal attacks and harassment if you dared to be someone who called out the guy who built schools and wells in Africa, right? But then Mr. Beast came out to publicly support his best friend, who came out as trans. Now, as you know, there's a lot of hatred for trans people out there right now, and a lot of people who are
It might be a bit late for this Chris Tyson take. I got a bit Ava Chris Tyson take.
right that before were big Mr. Beast fans would never, for any reason, criticize him. They decided they no longer liked Mr. Beast. And things that were always there, that were always reasons to cancel Mr. Beast and could have always been lines that people drew, started to be drawn when before these things were kicked under the rug. Everything from previously existing allegations of wrongdoing on Mr. Beast's part from ex-employees that were before swept under the rug, to people digging into publicly available videos that were always there and finding the famous image of Mr. Beast and Chris Tyson sitting in that room together with the Shadman commission in the background. I don't know if it was commissioned, but it was like a purchase from Shadman by Ava Tyson. And so that image has been online, and that video has been publicly available online. Multiple videos, with that in the background, I should say, has been publicly available online. And those videos were viral when they came out, by the way. They were big for the channel when they came out. This wasn't like some niche 1,000 view video. These were multi-million view videos where people saw lolicon art in the background and chose to ignore it and not give a fuck about it. Because at the time, might I remind you, people looked at Shadman as a meme. He was just memes. Just like how Mutahar described Nuxtaku here, it was just
It's just memes, man.
memes. He was just an edgy guy, a provocateur, who's just super
just
out there
memes,
and weird
man.
and edgy, right? And so the reason Mr. Beast got canceled was always public, but
Such
no
a
one gave a fuck,
stupid
and no one acted
impression,
against Mr.
man.
Beast until there was enough pre-existing dislike that there was an audience to watch Mr. Beast hate content, and that audience started
I
when
hate
Mr.
that Tom
Beast stood
did
by his
that.
trans friend.
It's just stuck in
Like,
my
I still
head.
think he should have been canceled. I'm just saying I think he should have been canceled years ago, considering what he was canceled for was publicly known and available for everyone to see for years and years and years, and it only became the supposed king destroyer for Mr. Beast when he publicly came out as pro-trans. Even then, after the shit got leaked, it's not really affected his sub count much anyway. But yeah, that's why that whole situation upset me so much, was because it was something that he should have been canceled for years ago, and it didn't end up being a problem for him until the right online turned against him and dedicated themselves to destroying him. And in this situation, it feels like, once again, the right content creator, in this case a conservative-leaning figure like Chudlogic, has called out the creepy fuck behavior of Nuxtaku, and instead of
Conservative leaning figure.
coming off as some deranged, woke, whatever, that everyone just attacks you for criticizing him and claims that you're being crazy and he's just edgy. Now that the right kind of person has called out Nuxtaku, not only are people agreeing that he's in the wrong, but they're trying to cover up how close they were to him before everyone decided that you weren't allowed to be friendly.
Yeah, literally, Starmer voter, by the way. Just Starmer voter. Okay, whatever.
I've hated this fucker for years, so I'm thrilled about this whole situation where people are calling him out. But, like, once again, these are situations where these people who are apparently just radioactive to be associated with were publicly supported by big content creators for years who had every way of knowing how weird they were, but said and did nothing about it because nobody on YouTube wants to be the guy that stirs up shit and starts something like this themselves. They want to join the bandwagon once it starts up. And that's what it feels like Mutahar tried to do here, and Chudlogic, to his credit, is stopping that in its tracks.
And my collaborations.
You probably shouldn't be showing, porn like that on a website where I know it's censored or whatever, but even censored stuff.
Oh, yeah, here's the comments. Lol, here, what was that comment?
Porn like that on a website where I know it's censored.
Lol, me being a 10-year-old child.
Whatever, but even
I am 7, and I'm not traumatized yet since the last time I've seen Rule 34.
censored stuff, you probably shouldn't be showing that.
What the fuck did I watch? I'm 10 years old, I a boy.
Consistently to a website full of minors, like context of like, oh, funny joke, and then they get into the result of that. That's basically my take.
Dude, these comments. What the fuck did I just watch? I'm 10 years old,
What did I watch? I'm 10 years old, I a boy.
Consistently to a website full of minors, like context of like, oh,
I'm just 11.
funny joke, and then they get into the result of that. That's basically my takeaway.
Wait, you showed those videos?
I mean, that's the whole thing on YouTube is like more reactions, right?
So, based on what he said, he never made any
It's
extensive
like
background checks on
the thing is that it's so just like, if you actually care about the pedo shit, that's so obviously bad. Those are children on their main accounts telegraphing that they are children that have been exposed to porn. That is like literally like a groomer's dream, is to see a child publicly proclaim that they are a child and that they have been exposed to porn, that they are just being exposed to porn for the first time, basically. That's like it's such a fucked situation to be happening. Why would you be, if you actually cared about this pedo shit, if you're actually out there being like, we gotta stop the pedos online, how could you ever co-sign this guy?
Nuxtaku's content or past.
And that's I'm gonna be real, that's a lie. Like, you don't collab with a content creator without knowing like what content they make. This lie gets called out blatantly. I'm sorry, Buddha, but like, this is, I don't dislike you or anything here. I think you're in a pretty rough situation where something that I think you should have not done in terms of collabing with this guy. I think you should have called him out years ago, considering that you are a person who calls out weirdos online. But you're in a situation where something like associating with this guy, which was seen as completely fine for years, he has been a big YouTuber who has been shouted out and associated with and featured by large YouTubers for years and years, despite this being his content. All of a sudden, everyone is like, yo, this guy is weird. Why would anyone associate with him? And all of a sudden, Buddha's in a situation where something that no one cared about yesterday is taboo today. So I get how that could, why he might be in a kind of a tough situation here. But the fact is, I'm not here to call out Buddha like, oh, he should have known better.
But it's almost like, okay, yeah,
I'm
but it
calling out that
shouldn't
he
be
should have known
about
better as a simple.
Oh my god, but it shouldn't be about the fucking public taboo. It should be about him having a consistent moral standard if he claims to care about this stuff so much. If he's going to go out and do pedo exposed videos and talk about lolicons and shit, he should have a consistent moral standard about these things. Otherwise, your criticisms fall flat.
Bringing of attention the fact that YouTube culture is in this weird place where careers can be ended for being outed as like a chomo or whatever, but like someone can make their career off of it like this and still associate with large YouTubers because they play it off as jokes and memes. It's really weird.
He did not know Nuxtaku used pornographic materials in his content, and it should be noted that he said this right after Turkey Porn specified that such material was censored, and obviously not fully in view.
Oh, by the way, my buddy / editor Ethan is a professional Gooner hater, so I showed him this video because he might recognize some of the like popularly memed Gooner mangas and animes that Nuxtaku shows here. And one of them in particular, Ethan was like, "Oh my fucking god," and explained it to me, and I responded with, "Oh my fucking god." So I'll explain what it is when we get to it.
Oh, so you mean your editor's a Roricon too? Is that what you're saying, Xanderhal? Oh, of course, he just looks out of curiosity, I'm sure. It's just memes, man. It's just memes, man.
But like some context might be necessary to get some of the dog whistling, the anime community dog whistling that Nuxtaku engages in a lot of his videos and thumbnails. I know this might sound silly, but there's full-on anime dog whistling, like references to characters from animes that you would have to be a massive creep to recognize, or know of the massive creeps that like it to recognize. And like the way that he includes it is to appeal to those creeps.
During the initial conversation with Chad, from which the entire drama saga started, he characterizes his relationship to Nux as much more distant than the one he has with Caleb, also known as Uberville, the third host of his podcast, and said that they spoke about Nux's recently revealed Shadman connections and thought it was weird.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, some of the content creators who have for a long time been associated with Nuxtaku are Umpaville, some ordinary gamers, and Turkey Tom. And like, I know Turkey Tom fucking despises Lolicon. I know Turkey Tom despises, frankly, Gooners. Like, he definitely despises Gooners, at least based on every conversation I've had with him, which is not many, but like, he doesn't seem to like Gooners very much. So the idea that he would associate with Nuxtaku in the first place seems weird. But I also kind of respect the fact that he was one of the first to call out Nuxtaku when he found out about the Shadman associations. But then on top of that, it's like, how do you run a podcast with this guy and not know that he makes videos reviewing porn for 11-year-olds? Like, I mean, he knew. He actually called out Muda for not knowing, or claiming to not know.
He revealed Shadman connections and thought it was weird. He also claims to only have made meme collabs with him and has been on game shows with 15 other creators. We won't be exploring those game shows in this video, but this is what one of the thumbnails for them looks like. I just thought it was neat. Many people have made very schizophrenic statements about how much Mutahar is actually familiar with the side of Nuxtaku's content, claiming it's possible for a busy content creator to take a quick look at the material his co-host is uploading. He honestly thinks of the awful anti-Indian racism that's so prevalent on the internet today. Some people just can't help but look at a jolly person of color and assume all kinds of awful things about them. For them,
this YouTuber comes off as vaguely conservative at the very least, but he does make a good video here calling out and substantiating the call-outs very well. As you can imagine, though, considering these, like, this has started with Chud Logic calling out Nuxtaku and people, like, supporting him, a lot of the people who are now covering it are, like, in that right-leaning sphere of drama stuff, which is why I do think it's important that someone like me talks about it, because I've yet to see anyone on the left really giving attention to this and talking about this problem. Well, I mean, besides me, I've ranted about this tendency that I'm calling out now, where YouTubers, like, normalize and enable these weirdos because they're just epic, edgy meme lords and they've got a big audience, right? So they must be fine. I've been calling this out for years. I've been calling out since before Mr. Beast got canceled for the Shadman stuff. I called out Shadman being normalized for years and years and years as an example of this. This has been an ongoing problem, and the next group of content creators that need to be gone after, I guess, would be like Pipka Pipkin, Rev Says Desu, these publicly pro-Lolicon creators that are pretty well accepted within normie YouTube space.
the reason I've made this exploration video. Mutahar knew it. We will be taking a look at the very first meme collab Nux did with not just Mutahar, but also Umpadil. They even have a funny meme anime girl on the thumbnail.
This was the thing that Ethan said, what? No, that's not a funny meme anime girl, and he proceeded to explain to me what that image is a reference to. It's a reference to a manga called Something Something Metamorphosis. That's the bit that I remember. And the story is about an underage girl, who you see there in the image, who gets raped by her father, stepfather maybe, supposedly repeatedly, and the end of the story is her dying of an ectopic pregnancy.
Yeah, everyone knows this shit. Everyone knows this shit. Come on, Zan. You're the only one that doesn't know this fucking manga.
In a public bathroom. So, like, the inclusion of this image in the thumbnail is a dog whistle. I didn't recognize it. It's only my buddy who hates anime Gooners that recognize it because he knows the memes, the things that Gooners post and what they're into, and the gross shit in the backstory. And he explained to me, if you see someone with, like, that profile picture, it's a good chance you're dealing with a fucking sicko if they have this, like, image, this face, as the profile picture. Very normal manga enjoyed by very normal people. I've heard people that are not, like, I've heard women refer to it as like, something that they like, but it comes off to me as either A, extremely sick fetish bait, or B, a very unhealthy way for women who've been sexually assaulted to cope with it. That seems to be the two groups that seem to like this, based on, like, what I've been explained, and the few cases in which I saw people on Twitter talk about it. It's pornography, like, fully. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Oh yeah, that one game, The Coffin of Andy and Lele, that shit is, like, it's apparently a decent horror game, but like it has some, like, incest horror element where, like, there's an abusive dynamic that, like, it's meant to make you feel shitty or bad from what I've had explained to me, but the incest weirdos fawn over it. A good example of someone who's, like, a big stan of shipping the brother and sister in that game is Rev Says Desu. And so yeah, this is just...
Bro, I'm so... Who cares? I hope there's incest in that game. I hope it's portrayed as really hot and based. I don't care. I don't care. It's a fucking game. It's fucking cartoons.
Just an example of dog whistling to creepos in the anime sphere, what this guy is into. Like, if you recognize this profile picture or this image and want to click on it, then you're probably a fucking sicko, and that's what it's meant to signal. This is dog whistling. It is.
The video was
Xanderhal, I'm 100% certain whoever told you that is fucking with you. Is it really? Because someone else says, yes, hardcore pornographic doujinshi, the famous 6-digit it's linked with is the URL of a porn site. Okay, I don't know what the 6-digit thing it's linked with is, but yeah, the way I had it described to me by someone who I trust is that it's the shit that weirdo Gooners are into, and if you see this image in a profile picture, put your guard up.
uploaded a whole year before they decided to make a 100-episode podcast with Nux. So this must have been an extra innocent, extra meaty video.
100-episode podcast. You can't do 100 episodes of a podcast with someone and not know what their deal is, but this is the guy.
Gamers, and welcome back to another video. My favorite series has returned at long last. Me showing Kurt memes to my friends and portraying them. Nuxtaku, welcome!
What's up, buddy? We are here for the memes, aren't we?
This is your first time here. And
The memes. It's just memes, man.
I have to make a good impression.
Memes.
No problem. You already made the perfect impression, man. You got me at like 5:30 watching memes. I had a nice work day.
Yo, what up, Nuxtaku? What the f are we watching right now, by the way?
Great news! We are watching. Pay no attention to what's on screen, and we can see the context. We can't be that bad. I found a channel called
Memes Boy. Memes Boy. Memes Boy.
probably not related to memes at all.
Probably not.
So
Memes
boy, I don't know how this channel exists, but they uploaded
Memes.
This YouTuber edits in Muda saying memes from when he claimed that Nux just did meme videos. Whenever Mudahar in this video with Nuxtaku from years ago says hentai, or incest, or lolly, because it does get that fucking weird to the point where they're just watching lolly, basically, and like Muda and Oompaville definitely look uncomfortable, but it's played off entirely like, oh man, isn't Nuxtaku such a wacky guy, such an edgy wacky guy? He makes his friends watch incest lolicon with him and freaks them out. It's just a joke though, guys. It's just that they're meant to be weirded out by it. And Nuxtaku is just showing them things that's meant to be weird, you know? Is that stuff on their face? Yes, yes. You can imagine what this is Nicandros' censoring, by the way. This is not the censoring of the original video, and he's about to get into that in a moment. That the original video is far less censored than what we're about to see, and that this YouTuber who we're watching had to add extra censorship in order to feel safe uploading this video.
I'm impressed because we're at 0-0 in the time code, and this girl already has memes on her face. Like,
I really hate to interrupt all the funny memes, but I'm kind of a sensitive guy, and when I see memes that just aren't my personal taste, I censor them with a mosaic like this. Nux
Yeah, I'm pretty sure even Moist Critical has collabed with Nuxtaku, and they've looked at memes.
Taku's editor uses blurs, and if something hasn't been blurred, and I decided to add a mosaic to it, it was originally completely uncensored.
So there you go. That image of the cum on the face of that character that was mosaic blurred was not originally censored. And Nicandros added that mosaic blur. So if you're wondering what wasn't even censored in the first place, look for the mosaic blur rather than like the blurry blur. And you know what had to be censored by this guy just to cover this.
That this
Because Nuxtaku uses as little censorship as possible.
original video is fully non-age restricted and has full ads enabled.
Like just already globules memes.
Why are you saying this? How can you know this isn't yogurt?
That certainly is not the consistency of motherfucking yogurt, that's for sure.
Anime yogurt has a different, you know.
Oh, dude, look at the shading on
I love the tabs we have open. Hentai thick girl. Hentai anime. Anime hentai.
the yogurt. No, the memes. That's straight. Look at the shading, dude. It's red.
Okay, so the plot here for the lovely story of Isekai Monogatari is as follows. That dude gets transported into another world while jacking
Memes. So he teleports to another dimension and
Something you're going to be able to pick up on here is how the obnoxious, like, fake... I don't even know how to describe it, but there's this weird tendency that I've noticed that, like, a small subset of conservative, like, streamers do. I'm going to try to imitate how they talk. Well, hello, guys. I'm Xanderhal, and we're going to talk about these woke weirdos. Like, I can't even... It's almost like a fake New York accent. Dick Masterson does it. Flamenco, that one guy who was, like, obsessed with me, and I think really wanted to see my dick. He did that, like, weird, almost subtly, like, borderline Boston, New York fake accent. I'm trying to think of other content...
What? What? What is this guy even talking about? What? I've not even heard this.
Creators that do it. What's that one guy? The guy, It's a Gundam. It's a Gundam does it too. Let me see if I can show a clip. I think he does, at least. I might be misremembering. It's a Gundam. You're gonna immediately, if I'm right about this, you're gonna immediately get what I'm talking about here.
Xanderhal's on an easy win right now, but stepping on a lot of rakes. Okay. Smith, I try. It's usually copyright.
Sir, don't nuke VOD after stream. I am work slave 2 hours behind, sir.
It's usually copyright. Is my the one from last night should be back up. I edited out the part that got blocked. Hopefully this one will still be up. I'll edit it if it's not. Okay.
Same video. I had every intention of ignoring Borderlands since it seemed like a film that was so bad it wasn't even worth pirating, let alone paying attention to. There was a reason why the film debuted with a 0 score from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, which I've never seen before in my entire life. And
I don't know if there's just some place where people talk like this that conservative anime dudes come from, or if it's like a deliberate accent that they have given themselves to come off as cool and edgy. But like, you guys have noticed it, right? The fake like Boston-esque, New York-esque, nasally anime bro like accent. These same dudes want to lecture the rest of the women over masculinity, by the way. No, I'm simply talking about this weird. Like, you guys have noticed the accent, right? Like, I'm not the only one who's noticed it. The basement accent. I don't know what it is, but it's like, I don't know.
Yes. Teleportation and memes.
Yes. Now, you think that the plot just finishes there, gets transported to another world jacking memes. But what if I told you that just awakens the latent powers of women? They're in like an RPG dimension.
It is also like, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like they're trying to talk like PewDiePie when he's doing that one joke voice, like, respect women. It sounds like they're trying to talk like that constantly. Is that Quite? Yes, Quite has also collabed with Nuxtaku a lot, and I imagine it's not good, guys. Quite's also fully aware of some pretty sussy shit, too.
Oh, I kinda know what he means. Actually, no, I kinda know the voice he means. Nux does it. I think Sen even does it a little bit sometimes.
Explain this is a gamer's fantasy, right?
I think I kinda.
She's literally about to cast a heel spell with memes on her face.
No, not just with it on her face. Hey, let's go.
oh my god, what the
He is the legendary
So the mosaic there means that wasn't censored, by the way.
hero summoned into another world where he gives women incredible power.
Sign me up. Where can I get a ticket?
Who would win, Thanos or girls?
Not interested, by the way.
All that memes. Thanos would be a speck on the universe.
Whoa.
Man, they all just have like fucking bad memes. I love how like the maid chick that just said memes is like the most modestly dressed character out of this entire show.
Just like a nun.
She's like a nun that just fucking eats like demon memes to destroy everything. Yeah, for real. I'm sure I remember memes. I'm doing nun's face in the middle of the battle. I don't think I forget that ever.
I think it's one of the most important lines to really understand exactly what his role is here.
You can activate a woman's latent power using your memes. Holy.
So for a while, it's just a little build-up with this video. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit because for a while it's just like, yeah, Mudahar definitely knew that Nuxtaku's thing is anime porn shit. But at a certain point, it gets to, yeah, okay, I'm not even gonna skip because it's about to get to it on its own, never mind. Yeah, it's about to get to the point where not only can we tell that Nuxtaku is a fucking creep, but everybody associated with him should have been able to tell. And if they didn't, then this is a perfect example of how that, like, oh, it's just edgy comedy, it's just memes, bro, normalizes some pretty fucking weird shit. And I really don't have a specific problem with Mudahar on this here. People definitely want to, like, bring him down. He's had more negativity around him than ever lately. So that's an aspect of it. And I noticed that he's been getting targeted with a lot of like racist attacks more than ever lately. Like it's always happened, and he's always taken it on the chin and just laughed it off. It doesn't seem to bother him. But like I've noticed it's been worse than ever lately. I wonder if he's noticed the same. And it feels like it's exacerbated the desire to pin this on him. It almost feels like everyone wants to pin this solely on Muda, when I don't think that's a fair way to handle this. Nuxtaku has been platformed and normalized by Turkey Tom, by Quite, by Oompaville. The idea of these large content creators should just like be ignored while we focus on one guy who doesn't seem as apologetic about it, like, or is apologetic about it, but in the sense that he's not willing to be open about how much he associates. Like, that's shitty, don't get me wrong, but this is a YouTuber problem. Like, this is a YouTube problem broadly, not a Mudahar problem. And hyper-focusing on Mudahar, I think, does a disservice to calling out this trend of content creators ignoring lolicon, fetish, weird shit becoming popular on YouTube. With big content creators, they'll call out nude yoga, but they won't call out someone like Resto Desu and Nuxtaku trying to, like, push weird lolly shit on kids. Get their sick jellies off or whatever.
Let's freaking go.
Japan is just leading the pack, man. Goddamn.
How is this on YouTube?
How is this on YouTube?
This is crazy.
I'm telling you, that's why I was so...
Yeah, Muda should definitely take accountability for this. Don't get me wrong. I'm simply saying that, like, the energy needs to not be focused on one person. It needs to be focused on the problem at large, which is big YouTubers normalizing and looking past this behavior until everyone decides, I guess we're not going to do that anymore. That point happened with Shadman, and for years and years and years, all the big clouded up people normalized and memed with Shadman. The creators of Smiling Friends, buddies with Shadman, defenders of Shadman for years and years and years. Do you want to know what one of the first few people to call out Shadman was? Keemstar, because Shadman drew lolicon of his, like, 6 or 7-year-old daughter. After that, do you want to know what one of the other few first people to ever call out Shadman was? Destiny. And do you want to know what the response to Destiny for calling out Shadman was? Both the people behind Smiling Friends and like every big YouTube animator jumping down Destiny's throat to defend.
Did Destiny really call out Shadman?
Like every big animator back then, including Rubber Ross from Game Grumps, the fucking Smiling Friends guy. big defenders of Shadman. And he was publicly a lolicon back then. It's as believable they didn't know that he was making lolly as it's believable these guys didn't know that Nuxtaku was making these videos. And they still associate with him, and they didn't denounce him, and all the people associated with him didn't denounce him and pretend they hated him until after the rest of the internet figured out what he was doing and didn't like it, and the general tide changed. I want more content creators to be the ones who change the tides for figures like Nuxtaku and Shadman, rather than going with it and waiting until they feel it's safe enough to call out this type of bad behavior. It's a bad tendency to ignore this stuff, and it's too common.
I'm excited when I found this channel.
Memes. Wait, you fucking deleted this video.
I find it rather odd that our
No, Sunshine RFF. To be clear, it's not that big YouTubers defended this stuff, it's that no one even talks about it until a certain point. No one talked about Shadbase being a pedophile until it got to be too much, and it spiraled. It like exploded in a month when everyone decided they weren't cool with Shadman anymore. This has been like an overnight thing with Nuxtaku, where people hated him, thought he was annoying, and called him out occasionally, but like broadly, he was normalized. He has a podcast with Turkey Tom, Oompaville, and Mudahar, right?
Turkey Tom, yeah?
Yeah, the Smiling Friends guys
Podcast
also
with
back on
Turkey Tom,
A lot
is
of
that what
that had
he
to do with
does?
the fact that Destiny, to be fair, I should clarify, these YouTubers did not defend Shadman because they liked him, necessarily. They defended Shadman because they hated Destiny so much, because Destiny had said animation YouTubers are lazy and greedy, and if they just uploaded more, they'd make more money. Now, this is obviously pretty
That was about Psychic Pebbles, you fucking retard, wasn't it? That wasn't anything about Shadman.
Consider how much work it takes to upload anything when you're an animation YouTuber. So animation YouTube hated Destiny because of this take, claiming that they don't make as much money because of their laziness. They did not like him because of that. And because Shadman was beefing with Destiny, they all chose to go after Destiny because they hated him already, and join up with the pedophile because they all hated Destiny
This
more than
guy's
they hated
just
the
fucking filling in the blank. This guy doesn't remember any of this.
known pedophile at this point, even Shadman. And they just look past it. It
Dude,
wasn't that people
Xanderhal
defended this behavior.
sucks,
They
man.
look past
This
it
guy
and they ignore it and
absolutely
pretend not to know until everyone figures it out, and they pretend like they never knew. That's how it always goes. And I just wish there was more proactivity with this stuff, you know? Like, they all knew what Nuxtaku was up to. Why did it take content creators calling it out and saying, why are you enabling this for anyone to care?
Our host, who has no similarity to the weird porn-loving freak Nuxtaku, acknowledges in the midst of making a YouTube video that the material they're making that YouTube video out of isn't appropriate for YouTube. So why still make the video?
The next episode is very wholesome and does not at all involve really weird brother-sister relationships.
It's called.
This is where it's going to start getting impossible to deny that these YouTubers knew what Nux was about. But they played it off as a joke. They just thought of it as a joke because Nux is big. The collab videos do well. Let's not stir the pot, huh?
Wait, what's the thing called? No, knee summer.
You know what knee means?
What's no? Tell me again. Knee.
Doesn't mean sister.
Oh.
Okay, well, it's close. I know, like, Oni-chan, but wait, doesn't that mean, like, brother? Like, oh, Oni-chan? Is that, like, the anime meme for, like, oh, hi, brother? Doesn't that mean sibling? Yes? Wait, so it doesn't even mean sister. Yeah, I assumed it meant sibling. Big brother, I think? Oh, wait, what? Wait, why is knee in that? Okay, you know what? I don't understand the Japanese language in the slightest, so we're just gonna drop that. I don't know. White man discovers other language. Fucking real. Oni means older brother. Yeah, listen, guys, I don't watch a lot of anime. Do you guys want to know what animes I've seen in my life? I've seen Attack on Titan, peak. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, really good. Really liked it.
Attack on Titan is not peak.
Not as good as Attack on Titan. Death Note, really good. I think I like Attack on Titan more. And I think I've seen another. I've seen a good amount of Chainsaw Man.
Get me out. Worst anime takes of all time coming in here. Jesus Christ.
A little bit of One Punch Man. I like Chainsaw Man. It's pretty good. I haven't finished the first season, but I didn't get the ending spoiled for me, but I got a particular character's death spoiled for me from the manga, and it was so cool, I had to watch the show. I'm not joking. The way a character dies is so fucking cool in the manga. I was like, man, I want to watch the show now so I can like see that like done in like animation. That sounds raw as fuck. If you know Chainsaw Man, then you know what I'm talking about. It's a very creative, interesting, and surprising and like fucked way to have to kill a character. That's not good. That's all I'll say. If you read the manga, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Had that spoiled for me, I was like, shit, that goes hard.
Holy shit, she's got more memes.
It is my cousin.
What the fuck?
He's one of many cousins. He's a younger brother cousin like me.
Sweet home Alabama. Here we go. Dude, like younger brother cousin, bro. When you start mixing like 3 or 4 different fucking relations, that gets me wild, man.
That gets me wild, man.
Wait, shut up.
Dude, she stole his.
Well, he's definitely joking there, but regardless, it's like, you know what this reminds me of? You ever see like you ever like when you were younger, like you were like, I don't know, let's say you're in like 5th grade or 6th grade, and you ride the bus home from school, and you sit in the back with like the 8th graders or whatever, like the older kids, and like to try and fit in with that group of older kids, you start acting different to try and fit in. That's what this reminds me of a little bit. Does anyone else get that vibe? Like Mudahar, and even like Oompaville and Quite and Turkey Tom are here, and they're suppressing their desire to say, bro, this is fucking weird. Why are you showing me this? Like, what the fuck's the matter with you? Just because they feel they don't want to be like the prude who ruins everybody's fun when they're just joking and memeing around. And so that like a standard for jokes that would never pass outside the setting is passing for these guys because they don't want to be the like fuddy-duddy who kills the fun in the memes, you know?
His phone. Yeah, you showed him the picture that he was memes.
Man, that is like your fucking sister that is like in tune with your brain right there.
Yeah, right? And then she blackmails him to
fuck. Oh my god. Dude, what a terrible tragedy this kid is going through.
I mean, I guess I'm a little bit of a soy boy, but being blackmailed into a relationship with your blood relative is kind of a bad thing, right? It's not being exactly a hecking decent person, right?
But anyway, we all want to know how he managed to take that picture, right? Obviously, it all started on a nice spring day with cherry blossoms everywhere.
The perfect idyllic day to take a nice fucking candid shot, right?
He's like, oh my god, let me take my 1946 phone to take a picture.
Quiet would do it if he could.
Was he Dr. Disrespect?
The flip phone. This is the best line.
Wait, hold on.
He's like, oh my god, let me take my 1946 phone to take a picture.
Was he Dr. Disrespect?
No, this video is from 2021. That's a reference to when Dr. Disrespect got banned from Twitch temporarily for streaming inside of a bathroom at TwitchCon for a few seconds. That is a joke that, in hindsight, makes a lot more sense. Years later.
The flip phone. This is the best line. This really got me. It completely destroyed the immersion.
Oh, wait, it's the same pronunciation. O-N-I means brother. O-N-E-E equals sister. Huh. And Zan equals younger. Which is true. I'm young, so that's Zan. Yeah, true. Accurate.
I can't believe it. Oh, I'm sure you didn't.
But this is when God took.
Oh, dude, come on, God, dude.
Let's go.
As you know, that like type of pixelation there means that the original video was uncensored in that scene, and that this YouTuber had to add a mosaic sensor to not have it be showing the upskirt of this character that I don't remember the age of, but if I remember the video right, where it's about to get into, this character might not be an adult.
God is the greatest wingman of all time.
God's like, sure, buddy, you get to fuck your hot sister. I'll fuck them more too. Fuck it.
I guess I'm not very familiar with modern day meme culture, because that just seems weird.
It is quite beautiful. Love this room.
Thank you, Win Sensei.
I will say, it does fill me with happiness that every year, it feels like we're getting a little less tolerant of, it's just edgy memes, bro, as an excuse for anything, right? Like, obviously people still get away with, it's just edgy memes, bro, for saying, or indicating, like, weird racist shit. Everyone just takes that as a meme, and a lot of people don't consider racism to be, like, evil in the same way that people consider pedophilia to be evil. So, you know, people don't really get mad about that kind of stuff. But here, it feels like as time goes by, the internet's getting a little bit less tolerant to this stuff every year. Like, Nuxtaku getting canceled was always going to happen. Eventually people were going to be like, what the fuck is this guy's deal? Like, eventually...
It's just obviously not true. It's just, I feel like the internet was way less tolerant of edgy shit like 5 years ago than it is now. No, it's gone sort of like back a bit. Like, everyone was super cucked a few years ago, and now you can actually get away with a little bit.
That was going to happen always, especially with the direction the internet's gone in, where there's actually a decent amount of internet policing, self-policing when it comes to people being out of his chomos. Not Dr. Disrespect, though. Returned with record viewership after admitting to texting a minor. But overall, this is the kind of thing that we're getting less and less tolerant to, even if you're just playing off his jokes and memes. Back in the day, Shadman was drawing lolly and playing it off his jokes and memes. That was the standard online in 2013 to 2016, was that you could draw lolicon and play it off his jokes and memes, and people bought that shit. And that's how Shadman got by for so long, publicly drawing child porn and being regularly platformed by the guys who made Smiling Friends and countless other big YouTubers, especially in the animation sphere. Eventually, years passed, and people look back at especially some of the like years-old cases of Shadman posting things and doing things, and start to go, hey, yo, what the fuck? Maybe in 2014, that kind of stuff was seen as edgy memes and jokes, but in 2017, you're drawing lolicon, that shit's gonna end you, right? And it no longer got taken as a joke that people shrugged it off as for years and years and years, and they took it seriously. The same thing's happening with Nuxtaku right now. It's gonna happen to other content creators too, and I'm so glad we're heading in that direction, but boy, would I prefer if it was faster, you know? I would really prefer if it was quicker, that like these things stop being played off as jokes and accepted as jokes or memes. They're not jokes or memes. No one jokes about being a pedophile.
Yes, they do.
Find that funny. No one wants, no one
Yes,
finds
they
it funny
do.
for people to,
What?
as a joke, think
Yes,
that
they
they're a
do.
pedophile, okay?
Yes, they do. Yes, they literally. That's incredibly fun. It's incredibly funny to joke about being a pedophile. Actually, it's incredibly funny.
Like that's just it's not the type of humor that normal, well-rounded, good people engage in. It's
when it's
that
done
level
well.
of out
When
of
it's
good
done
taste
well.
that it's a red flag to even engage in it, in my opinion.
Oh, yo, the wind blows for us, gamers. Check this out. That's pretty huge.
That is pretty huge. That's massive.
The rest of it's just different cousins and stuff.
Wait, he's got more cousins? Fuck.
No, this dude has tons of cousins. It's all about the cousins. We have the ultimate
You know
little...
what's a great example of that? You know what's a great example of it being done well? Wait, it's not on YouTube? What? Does it keep getting banned? Though, is it against YouTube TOS? I'm a pedophile. Dude, so we can't even play it? What about, okay. Free that fool. Free that fool. Free Max Carson.
Sister survival guide. That will teach you the right way to get to the trending page on Pornhub.
Oh god.
This is the 5 rules of handling your younger sisters. These are the 4 younger sisters.
Oh, brother, fucking exceptionally young. Fucking exceptionally young. Jesus Christ. Did Nux do anything illegal or something?
Since Mutahara
I feel like from the voices that we heard there, we could kind of... I think I could come up with a mental image of, like, the rough age of like, the voices I was hearing. So, yeah.
Nuxtaku are both Canadian citizens.
Yeah.
Allow me to introduce you to Part 5 of the Canadian Criminal Code, Section 163.1,
Thank you
subsection
for
1,
$2.
also known as the definition of child pornography, when the law says a photographic, film,
Man, you know shit's gotten serious when you gotta whip out this document. What the fuck?
video, or other visual representation, whether or not it was made by electronic or mechanical means, that shows a person who is or is depicted as being under the age of 18 years and is engaged in or is depicted as engaged in explicit sexual activity.
Yeah, low-key, Canada's got a gigabase for this. Lolicon is illegal in Canada. As in, like, you'll be charged equivalent to owning, like, real child porn if you have Lolicon in Canada. Fucking base, dude. God damn, I don't know what's going on in Canada. Their lawmakers seem to be a little more...
He's talking about being called out for defending Vaush's lolicon stuff on stream right now.
It all happened. Like, you could a long way. Guy rents the, like, gets the haunted hotel room, and he's, like, a skeptic, normal writer guy, but put in as a fraud who 1408. Looks out for... True. Me, the resident Stephen King fan in chat, I'm also a Stephen King fan.
But he's like not just like emaciated, he's like horribly groomed too. And I know I need a fucking haircut, but like look at this guy. His fucking eyebrows are joining. His fucking beard looks like shit. It's patchy and scraggly. It's just such a fucking...
My favorite of Stephen King's anything is The Dark Tower. The Dark Tower goes hard as fuck. I do hope one day we get like proper one-to-one adaptions of the Dark Tower books into movies, but I don't even know if there's like plans for that right now. Like, we're a long way out from that. It should be a show. It should be a show, actually. The Idris Elba movie was a sequel to the books, not a adaptation. Absolutely hilarious, Lux. Zan, protecting the ultimate lolly horse material lover while criticizing Muda. Sad. You got me, dude. I love how haters of me these days. Zan, protecting the ultimate lolly horse material lover while criticizing Muda. Sad. You got me, dude. I love how haters of me these days... There's two sides of the people who hate me. There's the people who are mad at me because I stopped being friends with Vaush. And then there are the people that are mad at me because they think I'm friends with Vaush. And I honestly don't know if the people who are coming in and saying, like, why do you defend Vaush, actually think that, or if they're saying it to make people believe it. Because there's a good chance it's just trolls and stuff making accounts and claiming it so that, like, maybe someone who reads the chat will believe that. But it's so weird getting hate simultaneously for opposing things. Like, that can't be true at once, right? It's interesting. It's definitely an unusual vibe, I suppose. Like, basically, imagine if you were getting hate for, I don't know, throwing away a piece of litter, which you did, but then you were also getting hate for littering, which you didn't do. From different groups of people simultaneously. Will believe it? Because there's a good chance it's just trolls and stuff making accounts and claiming it so that, like, maybe someone who reads the chat will believe that. But it's so weird getting hate simultaneously for opposing things. Like, that can't be true at once, right? It's interesting.
Vaush was like an open lolicon, right? If you always had this position about lolly, then why was it so difficult for you to implement?
Definitely an unusual vibe, I suppose. Like, basically, imagine if you were getting hate for, I don't know, throwing away a piece of litter, which you did, but then you were also getting hate for littering, which you didn't do. From different groups of people simultaneously. Very weird. Yeah, like I said, there wasn't really any bridge to burn over that whole thing because the bridge was effectively non-existent by the time it all happened. Like, you could actually argue that the timing was, like, an insanely lucky thing for me, and the fact that I'd already basically been dropped as, like, a friend in those circles after the Keffels thing, so months and months passed of me not having spoken to any of those people.
So yeah, you only went to Vaush over this stuff when you no longer had a connection with him.
Like, at all, and then all that shit comes out, and my first interaction with them,
yeah, exactly. You only did it when there was nothing to lose, when you could stand on it freely. Yeah,
privately, and, like, is a minor disagreement with Vaush I want to debate him on because he has a massive platform, and I don't want his platform falling for the anti-Biden stuff. And he has a meltdown, a genuine little baby rage meltdown over me calling him out. So yeah. People on Vaush's sphere are mad at me, and then people who I guess don't know about the bridge having been burnt are also mad at me. Yeah, a minor disagreement. God damn it, Wingo. You're a poet. Everyone who picks a fight with Xan ends up turning out weird or evil. Not necessarily.
Dude, the cope in this chat is crazy. How many people have gone after this fucking retard? Oh my god.
Fuck, you're right, aren't you? Shit. God, it's so egomaniacal to agree with that statement, but it's true, like, objectively. Like, actually, though. Fuck. Well, I guess...
Yep, it's just always true. That's why you're a miserable, lonely wretch with no content creation connections and no viewers, and it's because everyone who dislikes you is just so weird and evil.
Do with that information
There's no
what you
good
will.
points.
Pepper221, thank you for the $5 reduce. I appreciate it a lot. It means a ton. Thank you. Said, did someone say Sonic is woke? This is a real clip from the cartoon Sonic Boom. My nose do be itching, though.
Now, Sonic segment. I know this all too well.
What about the people jealous of your looks? Apparently, I look like Captain Sparkles, so, I guess there's people...
Hello?
Yeah, in a world where you, like, took care of yourself, maybe. Like, in an alternate world where you hadn't neglected your body for your entire life and didn't look, and like, washed, like, shaved. Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Who wish they looked more like Captain Sparkles. You know why I look like Captain Sparkles, by the way, guys? Because my uncle really looks like Captain Sparkles. That's why. Like, my uncle, my oldest uncle, who is the middle child
so your uncle
in the family,
he is... Makes sense.
Less so now because he's gotten older, but particularly when he was, like, in his 30s, looked shockingly similar to Captain Sparkles. And I was always like, because I was just a kid, I was like, I'm not 100% sure he isn't secretly Captain Sparkles, you know what I mean? And so, probably the reason why I look like him is because my uncle really looks like him, and obviously I'm related to my uncle, right? He's the brother of my mom. Right after the scandal, SAI on stream with my friends that I didn't believe the Vaush thing because Xanderhal didn't call him out. Then like a month later, you completely reversed course. Very frustrating. What do you mean I reversed course?
So this is one of his subs. Okay, so they're saying, right after the scandal, said on stream with my friends that I didn't believe a Vaush thing because Xanderhal didn't call him out. Then like a month later, you completely flipped. Very frustrating.
Also, why would you disagree on the contents of that folder because I hadn't called it out?
Because that's the sort of low IQ sped that you've cultivated in your audience, Xanderhal, obviously.
Do not base your opinion on something around whether or not I have talked about it, for Christ's sakes. Were you defending what was in it without knowing what was there? Like, if you just didn't know what was in the folder, then that's understandable, but did you know what was in the folder and not have a problem with it because you thought I didn't have a problem with it?
Base chatter.
Just don't assume that because I haven't talked about something, it means there's nothing wrong with it. That's like beyond... That's beyond just saying, oh, you must not have an opinion on it because you haven't talked about it, to there must not be a problem with it because you don't have an opinion on it, seemingly. That's like levels beyond, like, the general assumption to acting on the general assumption in a way that you probably should not do. Not trying to gang up on you or anything. I'm just saying, like, don't assume something is okay because I haven't spoken on it or someone that you watch hasn't spoken on it.
All comes down to this one penalty kick. Can the young woman break the glass ceiling and prove once and for all that a female can be just as good an athlete as a male?
You know, Amy, anytime someone calls attention to the breaking...
Okay, we're scared. That's enough of Sonic Boom.
It's become, like, choose what you want to believe the world is, you know? And yeah, thank you so much, Cleaver120. I hope as, like, a gay...
Okay, this guy's got nothing else. That was it, I guess.
Caught up on the times, but we have not had anything close to a similar law in America. So lolicon is legal in America, unfortunately. It's protected as like art or something. I don't know. There's some First Amendment protection apparently for it. But in a lot of other countries, they've already caught the law up with it and recognize it as child porn because even though it's drawn, it is meant to fulfill the sexual desires of pedophiles, and that's all that matters in the grand scheme of things. You're feeding the paraphilia.
But you don't wait. It's just such a stupid level of engagement. That's not what the stream will be back any moment. It's coming back. The stream's coming back. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know why it's doing that. It doesn't say my internet dropped. My stream decided I just wanted to send it back, I guess. It's fine. Whatever. My understanding, I have never heard of any data to suggest that lolicon increases the chance of someone offending. I've never heard that. I've never seen that. I've seen slight, very slight evidence that if someone consumes lolicon and is able to be open, like not open about it as in do it openly, but like talk to people about it, like a therapist, like family members, stuff like that, that they're less likely to offend. And if they watch lolicon and they don't talk to anyone about it, then they are more likely to offend. So if someone is like when someone has a paraphilia, if they have people that they can discuss it with and talk about the urges they're feeling, they are less likely to feel pigeonholed, trapped, and end up acting on whatever urge, whatever usually either self-detrimental or harmful to others urge that they're experiencing. That generally tends to lower the risks of that. I thought Xanderhal was a data guy who was all about uncomfortable data and stuff like that, just like his heroes, Vaush and Destiny. I thought that's what he was all about. I guess not, though. I guess he just wants to virtue signal like a fucking loser.
Look, Canada's kind of giga-based for this. Lolicon is illegal in Canada, as in, like, you'll be charged equivalent to owning, like, real child porn if you have Lolicon in Canada. Fucking based, dude. God damn, I don't know what's going on in Canada. Their lawmakers seem to be a little more caught up on the times, but we have not had anything close to a similar law in America. So Lolicon is legal in America, unfortunately. It's protected as, like, art or something. I don't know. There's some First Amendment protection apparently for it. But in a lot of other countries, they've already caught the law up with it and recognize it as child porn because even though it's drawn, it is meant...
But it is actually... Certain types of Lolicon are considered to be illegal federally in the United States. California, I believe, has a specific exemption. But it's about whether it's obscene. If it has some other value other than the obscenity, then it's not illegal, right? Because they have the First Amendment, obviously.
And to fulfill the sexual desires of pedophiles, and that's all that matters in the grand scheme of things. You're feeding the paraphilia of predators, and that's not good. So base Canada, base Canada.
The term person does not only apply to real flesh and blood human beings, but as the Canadian Supreme Court decision R.V. Sharp determined, also fictional minors as well. The rationale for this decision is that with developing technology, it's hard to tell apart child porn featuring actual children and material made through compositing, aka Photoshop, or computer generations.
And AI as well, I did a whole segment about this, a very scary amount of AI-generated porn images in South Korea are of underage K-pop singers. In fact, over 60% of all AI-generated porn is of South Korean women. So much so that it's such a uniquely South Korean problem that women are facing, from the realm of creating revenge porn to the training of the AI off of underage models and then being used to make pornography of underage models. The government and the culture of South Korea is heavily mobilizing against AI porn. It is evil. AI porn, no matter what, is immoral to consume. It's trained off of...
All AI porn is immoral. What? What? What are we talking about here? What is going to be his dumb fuck argument on this?
The training of the AI off of underage models and then being used to make pornography of underage models. The government and the culture of South Korea is heavily mobilizing against AI porn. It is evil. AI porn, no matter what, is immoral to consume. It's trained off of children, and underage girls do not ever go anywhere near it. It is literally immoral to engage with. AI porn is.
It's immoral to engage with. How? How? It's not using CP, assumedly. I don't believe it to be doing that. I imagine those companies would get in a lot of trouble if they're found to be harboring CP to train AI models. I imagine that would be a big no-no legally.
South Korean women. So much so that it's such a uniquely South Korean problem that women are facing. But I did a segment about it if you want to learn more. I think it's called something like South Korea declares war on AI revenge porn. I thought it was a good video.
When they adopted this law, the Canadian Parliament determined that child pornography
is like such dumb engagement.
Distortions, it feels fantasies that incite...
Just so desperate to have the anti-AI take to be on the fucking lefties Twitter artist unemployed side. It's so fucking...
Offenders to offend. It's used for grooming and seducing victims. And finally, in the case of child porn involving real children, children are abused. Nuxtaku told Chad Logic, Nicholas Yorio, and Turkey Tom that he didn't know Nuxtaku used porn in his videos. He said he collaborated with him on...
I will say, the bias is pretty clear here. Notice how the framing of this is that Muda argued to Turkey Tom that he didn't know. Meanwhile, Turkey Tom did a podcasting collab with Nuxtaku as well. But we'll get into a moment why Turkey Tom's getting a little less shit. He was a little less willing to not... Like, he was willing to call out some of this stuff to a degree, but not to the degree that I feel should give him a complete, like, pass, you know what I mean? Like, he's still on this podcast, Nuxtaku too. Bro's still a degenerate.
Yeah, exactly. I thought we were consequentialists here. How dare you circumvent contributing to the demand for human trafficking? Don't you know about all the issues with the porn industry, Zan? About all those trafficked women? Zan? All those trafficked kids? You care about pedos so much? You don't care about those trafficked kids? What, you want more suffering, Zan? That's what you want? Oh, okay. Sure, man. Whatever.
Gooner all this time. There's never been like
anything
some
for the
bizarre
Twitter artists.
And game shows, but here he is looking at media that in the moment he recognized as lolicon, which legally in Canada is considered...
Oh, shit. Wait, are these like tags for that thing? So okay, so what I think this is are tags for the video.
Well, what I think this is, I've never seen hentai tags before, or I've never seen doujin tags before. This is my very first time ever seeing something like this. I've got no idea what I'm looking at here. I've got no idea what I'm seeing here. Oh, this appears to be a tags list. Oh.
The porn video that they watched on that video. The tags are anal, armpit...
What are the tags we've got? Oh, okay, he's
licking, armpit
anal,
sex.
armpit licking, armpit sex.
Anal,
awesome.
armpit licking, armpit sex, blowjob, clamp, defloration, that sounds fucking awful, FFM threesome, foot job.
That sounds fucking awful. That just means one of the characters is a virgin, but sure.
Group, hand job, harem, incest, kimono.
You would, unless it's a repeated sexual abuse, you would kind of assume with a lolicon character, but whatever.
Kissing, lolly, mosaic censorship, nakadashi, pantyhose, sister, sleeping, sock job, and urination. Just to finish it off with a little something light. Urination.
Child pornography. Illegal to view, illegal to possess, and illegal to distribute. But the guy he's good friends with behind the scenes, the guy he doesn't want to burn, Nuxtaku, has...
They don't want to burn him, they're still friends. Ooh.
Filmed him doing this as distributing it on YouTube, with the name of the animation visible in the original video for anyone to search up and access themselves. No.
Of course, yeah. Of course, Nux makes sure the gooners who watch him know where to look for the original thing he's covering. Of course he does that.
Age restriction.
And of course kids too that watch, because as we've established, he makes videos where it's just like, if I go to his channel now, his most recent video will almost certainly be a reaction to an old episode of Adventure Time. It annoys me so much because Adventure Time is one of my favorite animated shows, but apparently he's never seen it before, because like anytime one of his dog shit videos ends up in my recommended, it's because YouTube knows I like Adventure Time, recommends his reactions to it, and it's always gooner baiting Adventure Time. It's like, Marceline did what to Finn? And it's a reference to like that one scene where she like kissed him on the cheek or like as a joke smacked him on the butt to fuck with him, because that's what Marceline used to do. And he'll like make the whole video title, like the thumbnail might literally be some like hentai of Adventure Time, and then the title is something like sexual and clickbaity, but the video is him reacting to a kid show and cracking constant sex jokes, many of them borderline pedophilic if not outright so, throughout the entire thing. That's like the content he puts out to attract a young audience, and then the rest of it is this shit.
Surely in this moment, he announces his disgust and says, "I'm not doing a podcast with you, you maladjusted freak." But Nuxtaku is unfortunately bound by powers beyond our understanding.
My God.
I will say, it is a pretty wild trend that everyone who's received a, like, dude, if I open my mailbox one morning to find a fucking Christian medallion in there, I'm getting a goddamn, like, picker-upper, like one of those little sticks that you pick things up with. I'm picking it up with that, taking it into the street, dousing it in lighter fluid, and burning it, okay? I'm making sure not to even touch it. It's like the cheese from Diary of a
Shut the
Wimpy,
fuck
okay?
up.
I'm pretty sure the curse passes on.
Shut the fuck up.
Go-to rule is, when it's ever an anime character that looks like they're 10 freaking years old, they're probably 900-year-old cum vampires.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, that's the best rule to follow, obviously, if you're supposedly not a degenerate fucking weirdo pedophile, yeah. Nuxtaku's a fucking creep. I mean, do I even need to make the case anymore? I've been ranting so much, but I feel the video does a good job on its own.
I didn't wait for far too long.
I'm so sick of the sonitude medallion joke. jokes, man. It's way too much. The Baldo jokes, the Sonichu medallion jokes. It's so not fucking funny. It's so unoriginal. It's so unfunny. Oh my god.
Sir, these are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse we're looking at right now. This is like some mythological.
They've been around since long before civilization.
Exactly. Wait, show one of those videos?
This is the 5 rules of Onami household.
Okay.
These are the little sisters, by the way.
Okay, this is a hentai?
First rule, hug your little sister every day.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, it's just hug her for at least 10 seconds. There's nothing wrong with the hug. Yeah, it's fine.
No, the third rule isn't any weirder, so you don't have to worry.
Make
sure to snip your younger.
Maybe there's some kind of a contract that...
I see what you mean by how weirdly normal Nuxtaku looks now. For a guy that's into this shit, he looks unsettlingly normal. A reminder that even a normal dude who's walked past you could be a Nuxtaku.
Still thinks that was nuts.
You have to be like all the way into it. You can't show disgust. You can't say, what the fuck is this? You can't be like, I want to watch this. Maybe.
I was actually in a Nuxtaku video. I was in a video. With Willie Mac. We're in a video. I want to say 6 months ago, maybe we're in a video.
And see what I mean when I say, like, I would have preferred... I appreciate that Turkey Tom's calling it out now, but let's be real. Like, the fact that this video didn't last 2 minutes with Willie Mac Show immediately saying, what the fuck are you showing us, you creep? And then they didn't immediately go and make videos calling Nuxtaku out as a lolicon after this. The fact that it was just like what you'll see in a moment is a good example of the worst case scenario for these content creators that are like Nuxtaku. That at worst, you'll get maybe some snide remarks about you, but like no one's going to dedicate themselves to taking you down like they are now.
And he showed us like very weird. So upset about it. It's not like he did that much. It was me, him, and Quite.
Yeah, the guy at the start.
Fuck. I want to see something about your dog too, but I honestly don't remember exactly what it was.
Pretty sure he's like another YouTuber, right? Whoever it is. It's like some other content creator, right? This guy.
You know, some kind of dog and some kind of girl. But I don't remember some kind of intercourse. But I think it was very.
When I say looking normal Chainsaw Camera, I mean usually when you see what these lolicon dudes look like in real life, they literally look like they were designed in a character creator to be the quintessential gooner basement dwelling incel. This guy looks like a normal dude, even perhaps a little like above average looking. All the while, his like online personality is like,
hey guys, oh yeah, we're gonna watch some hentai. Oh, it'd be crazy if they were underage in it, huh guys?
That's his videos, and I genuinely can't stand it.
That is nuts. That is nuts.
Very good impression from Turkey Tom there.
It's just memes, man. It's just memes, man. Let's hear that again. Let's hear that again.
I genuinely can't stand it.
A nasty implication. I was like, why the fuck are you showing this to me? And he was like, it's just memes, man. And that was kind of my
very good impression from Turkey Tom.
It's just memes, man.
Fucking hate that guy.
He's just like a retarded person. In that respect, but yeah.
So this is just about a really horny dog.
No, it's about a really horny girl.
This is what you watch next? Why? You can watch this on YouTube. That's fucking ass. Ass, straight up.
This dog has the same facial expression as Tom, bro.
Whoever made this needs to be in jail.
Tom, how would you rate this show on a scale of 1 to 10?
I mean, 10 out of 10 is in like, I'm definitely going to be reporting against the authorities and hopefully calling in like I'm going to swat the headquarters of whoever made this. Something terrible is going to befall them.
I want to emphasize here that what Turkey Tom says here, as far as I'm aware, is the most pushback Nuxtaku has ever gotten blatantly from a guest. And even this was pretty soft when you think about it. This is years ago. Turkey Tom says what he says here, but I guess did not designate Nuxtaku as a creep that should be gone after.
That show was so bad. What, the dog romance one?
And so I respect Turkey Tom in some respect for this, but also like, why does he get that much credit when it's like, man, this guy's been around just doing his shit for years and you knew? Like, you've got a platform. Your whole thing is like taking down weirdos, man. Like, I want to see this. Like, I hope at least now maybe we get a Turkey Tom video on this guy, but I would like to see this sooner, right? Like, my whole criticism here is there's some like arbitrary point when people decide to call this shit out instead of it being called out when it's been evidently a problem.
Oh, it's almost like no one actually cares. It's almost like no one actually cares about Lolly. It's almost like you did that exact same thing with Vaush. It's almost like you waited until there was absolutely nothing you could lose, no possible drawback to calling him out, and then you called it out despite knowing about it the whole time. Well, it's almost like none of you actually fucking care about Lolly, isn't it? It's almost like you're just making it up for content. It's almost like you're just pretending to care. Almost.
And as in, like, I'm definitely going to be reporting against the authorities and hopefully calling in, like I'm going to swat the headquarters of whoever made this. Something terrible is going to befall them. Yeah, terrible. Yeah, not good. Government needs to be in a government institution. Torturing Guantanamo Bay, waterboarded. The most.
I'm never going to pretend that someone laughing at Degenerate lolly on the internet is the same as unironically consuming it. It's such a lame pearl clutch from Willie Mac Show. Oh no. There it is, guys. It's just edgy jokes defense that people ran with until the inevitable soon-to-be fall of Nuxtaku. I'm never going to pretend that someone laughing at Degenerate lolly on the internet, that's the framing of this, is the same as unironically consuming it. It's a lame pearl clutch. I like Willie Mac Show, and I don't think he's in favor of Lolicon here, but this is just blatantly him defending, collabing with, and platforming, or being platformed by, I don't know the exact situation, a Lolicon thing. This is a comment under Chud's Mudahar confrontation highlight. Wait, Willie Mac Show was doubling down on it in response to Chud Logic's correct calling out of this, enabling of this fucking weirdo. Man, I hate to say it, but Chud's the unsung hero here, like legit. Like, Chud should get more credit. I don't like the guy. The guy fucking hates me to the point of wanting me dead, but fuck, dude. Like, I don't give a shit about that. Like, I'm being real.
Chud wants Xanderhal dead. Oh my god, it would cut a killer video if Xanderhal got AIDS. Let's be serious.
His opinion on me does not matter at all. It has no effect on me. What does affect me is the feeling of disgust and emptiness that I get realizing that the platform that I make my living on hosts people like Nuxtaku, and that figures who are massive and well respected in the space normalize and enable people like Nuxtaku. It upsets me. I exist on this platform. I watch videos on it. I make content on it. I make my living on it. I don't want this platform to ever be associated with.
Chud wants a piano dropped on him. Chud wants a big anvil to spawn 50 meters above his head and then fall. Chud wants him to be in a big cauldron, melted up in a big cauldron.
The normalization or endorsement of this type of content.
So the most vitriolic torture technique, mustard gas.
Yeah, so based on me watching the bits of the episode where Turkey Tom appears, he is constantly very uncomfortable and complaining, and isn't having a fun time at all. So he told the truth. Mudahar didn't.
I just want to emphasize, as good as it was of Tom, that is the worst that Nux has gotten up to this point. That was the worst and most severe pushback he'd ever gotten to this point. Was Tom kind of jokingly, but really not. I mean, he's definitely disgusted by it, but at the same time, wouldn't a more appropriate response be, dude, why'd you just show me Lolicon? I'm swatting you, bro. Like, that should have been his response. Like, if he said that, I'd be like, tear wiped from my fucking eye, dude. Like, that's what I want to see.
What? What are your thoughts on the third rule?
That's bizarre. We're traveling outside the boundaries, I feel like, of what's acceptable in the 21st century.
Careful's long-time Careful supporter, by the way, is saying it's swatting's based, actually.
What do you mean with affection, man? I'm not gonna hug her with anger.
I hug people with no affection on a regular basis.
You think Careful's never looked at any lolicon? You think Careful's never, ever looked at a femboy Shota fucking picture? Ever? Oh, but swatting her was wrong, obviously.
But not little sisters, goddammit. Never forget them.
Yeah, I just don't get it. What is the moral standard here? Why do none of these people have any actual belief about this? It's so mind-blowing.
Those are the 5 rules of the Onami household. Nice and wholesome, right?
Give them all. I will not.
Sniff them well.
God, I hate that dude.
Share the whole Twitter account called Catboy Farm or whatever, Catboy Ranch, with like pictures of like Shota Catboys as like the cover photo and shit. It's like all of that shit is absolutely, all the trans community, all the Catboy stuff, all the femboy stuff is absolutely layered with anime pedophilia.
Dude's fucking voice, and how he plays off his degen perversions as a joke.
They then fuck.
Wait, they fuck?
It is actually worked into the very core of those communities. It is so inherent at this point to those groups of people, to those types of places. You can't separate it. It's so retarded.
On this one, we clearly got the Undertones of having to actually watch the sex scene between brother and little sister. We'll skip that, I guess.
Yeah.
For that reason only. For that reason only. And then the Big Brother chose selected one of them for tonight's night of gaming. They're going to be playing Smash Bros. And sis. I wonder what they're talking about.
I don't know. I wish it was
I don't even know what's happening on screen at this point, but I'm assuming it's so fucked that the fact that this YouTuber had to mosaic the whole thing, it's that bad.
Oh god. Oh god. Hitty boy is going to survive another day, ladies and gents.
He did a good job. He did a good job censoring that.
Yeah. Because we don't want to talk about what's going to be overflowing.
Oh my god.
I wish to point out that the videos that they are watching for this video that is not age restricted are age restricted, and they know it. They acknowledge it while watching them for a YouTube video that will not be age restricted and will have full ads.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, YouTube doesn't give a shit. If you're a big enough content creator, whether you're putting on like a kimono, a straw hat, fake buck teeth, and like glasses, which is what Steven Crowder did, and then doing basically a minstrel show where he proceeds to like.
That was awesome. Where is that?
This week marks the second show in June, which is officially Louder with Crowders, Cultural Appropriation Month, where we take you across the globe to experience and appreciate all the great cultures
rare funny Steven Crowder
world has to offer.
Like drown, like white girl dolls, because apparently that's what Asians do or something. I don't even know what his racist claim is. I don't even know what he was trying to say.
What do you mean? Apparently that's what Asians do. You don't know what he was even trying to say. That well, Xanderhal, if you open up a fucking history book for once in your fucking life, okay. If you look at anything to do with any history of any country ever, for once, if you do like 1 second of thinking or research, you might learn that there was something called the one-child policy in China, which meant that people could only have 1 kid. And so if they had a daughter, due to the place of women in society and their inability to succeed financially and stuff like that, they would kill a female child. They would leave them in the river or drown them in the river. That is a stereotype, a phenomenon. So that they could have a male child. If you opened up a history book for 2 fucking seconds and looked at one thing, you might know that.
That racist claim. Like, normally, if I watch like a minstrel show by white supremacists,
my mic's not actually that far up. It's perspective. It's actually right next to me. It's perspective.
Usually I would expect that I at least get what racist point they're trying to make, and I'd be like, oh, well, that's bullshit. He's trying to say so-and-so, and here's why that's wrong. But with that, I couldn't even like put a finger on what the claim is, you know? YouTube didn't give a fuck. Like, YouTube doesn't give a fuck if you're breaking their TOS against hate speech. They don't give a fuck if you're breaking their TOS against posting child exploitation. So long as you make enough money and get little enough controversy that everyone, even the website YouTube, are willing to look the other way. A really good example of this is the Vaush lolicon folder, too. Like, Vaush definitely took a pretty big hit when that stuff leaked, but man, isn't it wild how many big progressive lefty creators continue to associate with him and are cool with him, even though he has literally leaked his porn folder with lolicon in it on stream? Like, to a certain point, it feels as though it doesn't matter if you're left or right. As long as people want to believe you're chill, they'll just let you get away with murder. And if they don't want to like you in the first place, they'll crucify you for nothing. And as a great example, Nuxtaku has literally gotten away with murder in a DM, with what's can't come out with Westside Tyler as well, really extreme. Her fan base don't care. Yeah, like, at the end of the day, they have gotten away with murder in the realm of content creation. And a bias has protected them. The same goes for Nuxtaku. It's not just a right-wing thing. Let's not pretend this is something exclusive to conservative creators.
I have to say, like, how does this get hit with community guidelines? Like, there's
nothing happens. It's also, they're just talking bills. I don't understand anything.
Yeah, dude, you're really fucking,
Kuihman, you continue to associate with Vaush after that? Did I? As far as I know, I dared to attempt to do a friendly debate with him, and he lost his fucking mind. And I said, okay, well, do I...
Yeah, you criticized Vaush after you had nothing to lose. Yes. Once you had no connection, once he didn't give a fuck about you, then you were happy to criticize him.
Like, do I care about...
Is Xanderhal the dude that was fucking a 50-year-old woman and she dumped him and all his stuff outside? No, that wasn't quite what happened. But that is him. She was in her 30s and she was doing like crack or something.
Trying to be even like chill with you, At this point, if you're not only a fucking weirdo, but you're not even willing to have a political debate. I
Stole
have a
all his
political
money.
debate with Vaush about the bad content he was making. To hopefully convince some people in his fan base this anti-Biden stuff is not really helping anybody if you're an American and you're, going to be affected by this election. I don't want to go against him super hard if I'm going to convince any of his fans. When we got to the point where his response to me calling out, I mean, I kid you not, I know how sensitive that dude is. I did my best to be as chill and cordial in my call out as possible so it could be a productive debate that could convince people. And he lost his fucking mind. At that point, it's like, okay, well, now I'm not even willing to debate you on, like, decently level grounds. Someone I talked to told me it was just one pick in the folder. Yep, there's a lot of people who make excuses for it.
Yeah, I'm friendly lately, dude. I'm just gonna be real with you.
And
anyways,
you
did for a little bit before the really bad stuff came out. So ride the rails. Are you talking about dramas prior to him leaking his porn folder? Because the really bad stuff came out when he leaked his porn folder. Like, there was no and really bad stuff came out later moment. It was he leaked it, people screenshotted it, censored it, it went viral on Twitter, and everyone talked about it, and then a lot of the left was...
Everyone knew for a long time beforehand that Vaush was a lolicon. He didn't make a secret about it.
And they're still chill with him.
The next scene is presumably a fight scene that we're not going to be talking about.
Right, or a political, like, debate scene, I think.
That's the glorious hentai that I have to show you today.
So this guy openly talks about his weird sexual degenerate tastes on stream all the time. Everyone knew Vaush was looking at weird shit. Everyone knew he's looking at horses. Everyone knew he's looking at lolly.
I have to say, all of the plotline.
Glorious hentai, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Was it just 2 images? Was it just 2 images? I think it was 2, but even if it was 2, it's like, dog, any amount of lolicon, you have to make excuses for being on someone's hard drive, and you are just, you don't even realize, you don't even realize how far on the underfoot you are here. Like, come on, like, just drop it, dude. Anyway, the only reason I bring it up, guys, is that it's not just a right-wing thing. It's not just a right-wing thing. It's really not. There are tendencies in every community to ignore this type of behavior. Even other things that aren't as bad or tangentially as bad, like sort of like a side grade of bad, gets looked past. If there's an already...
Yeah, so we're gonna see a lot of videos about the prevalence of Shotacon in femboy and trans communities then, aren't we? Aren't we, Xanderhal? I'm sure. Yeah, we're going to be seeing a big video from you criticizing how much Shotacon and lolicon there is in femboy and trans communities. Right? That's coming any moment now.
Already existing bias, Along with the weird, yeah, and also the AI-generated bestiality stuff too, which is bad for reasons we got into earlier with what it's trained off of. Same goes for, like, computer-generated horse stuff like he had. I think the references to the really bad stuff was the Vaush video controversy from 2019. Vaush video controversy? What could you be referring to? Are you talking about, like, when he got in trouble because he had, like, sexually harassed that lady? That was what I thought originally was, like, the worst thing ever. And I was like, well, he apologized for it. If he doesn't repeat that behavior, I can't say he's, like, an awful human being forever because of one...
Because there's clout to be gained, right? Because there's clout to be gained.
Potentially just autistic mistake he made. But, man, downloading that shit and having it is worse than, like an autistic mistake, right? Like, come on. We're talking pretty different scenarios here, where it's like, oh, so you just have that now. That's very different. I remember Pillar Brush off the Fawn showed a tweet saying it was a joke by Fawn before it was found. Fawn was into that stuff. Yeah. Like, I need to emphasize here that the left does not get a clean...
AI horse lolicon is not comparable to AI deepfake porn. I would agree. I would say that you can pretty clearly point to, like, something that resembles a victim in the case of deepfake stuff, because it's someone being represented in a way without their consent. It feels like it's not really an agency violation or a consent violation, but it certainly feels like one to the person on the receiving end of it. There is no receiving end to the lolly horse AI. There's not someone who's taking damage from that.
Slide on this, guys. This isn't some conservative tendency, like you guys in chat have been saying. There's some fucked up shit. Ooh, another really good example. Holy fuck. This is an example of someone who just got away with, like, multiple rapes. Andrew Callahan with Channel 5 News got away with, like, being a serial rapist. It's actually crazy. So much to the sort of point where I knew a Andrew Callahan victim who never came forward publicly and simply told me about their experience just so that I know the allegations are true. And not have any doubt, but insisted I don't, make their identity public and all that, so of course I won't. But yeah, Andrew Callahan got out as a rapist. He's now bigger than ever. He raped, like, a dozen or so women, if I remember correctly. And that's...
I don't think most allegations were, like, rape, but sure, man.
It's only the people who came public, by the way. And he's bigger than ever now. He's huge. That's got to be a bit soul-crushing. Yeah, it's because despite...
But actually, he knows about a secret hidden rape allegation, too. Awesome.
Being a predominantly progressive content creator, people on the left loved Andrew Callahan's Channel 5 stuff so much they were willing to convince themselves that all these allegations were false. And he took, like, a few months away, so people let themselves forget and told themselves the allegations were false. Maybe a combination of the two. And there you go. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm aware of how big of a problem it is. Thank you for the $10 super chat, the new guy in red. Says, if lolly stuff so terrible, why it's so mainstream in Japanese fiction? Obviously, this is sarcasm. Not just in hentai, but anime made like Made in Abyss and gushing over magical girls. And how can we stop this flood? Yeah, basically, there is no stopping the flood. But I will say, the desire to make it illegal, I think, is one that should be followed through on. Now that I know that Canada's already made it illegal and a lot of other Western nations have already said, yeah, no, this shit is not okay, it's like, oh yeah, what are we even doing at this point? Like, I thought for a while there wasn't any...
Why would you base it based on what other countries are doing? Why would you not even remotely look at the data on that?
Laws against it anywhere? Outside...
I think making it illegal is probably... I may even be in favor of making it illegal, like, at least to fucking distribute, because you should try and probably limit it to, like, therapeutic settings and make sure that people are engaging with it, or engaging with it responsibly. But the idea that you just go, well, one country did it, so everyone should do it. It's like, that's not how we decide policy, retard.
maybe a few examples. Now that I know it's generally the rule, the trend that it's illegal, it's like, why the fuck is this shit not illegal?
Brain shut off because mapedos, so brain shut off.
Here. They will let these serial killers go scot-free, meaning contracts into the money for private fed posts. Well, of course, yeah. Like I said before, some people can do, in the grand scheme of things, nothing, and get crucified over it, while people like Nuxtaku, Desu, Shadman for years and years and years can be publicly pedophiles and get away with it. Or I guess Nuxtaku's case, I guess we don't know if he's like a pedo, but I mean, in my opinion, I don't think someone who's not a pedo would be in any way, shape, or form the way that Nuxtaku is. That's just my opinion, though. That's just my personal opinion. Anyway, if you enjoyed the segment, despite the absolutely soul-crushing content of the segment, then consider dropping a like. It really does help a lot. Every thumbs up helps to push my content in the algorithm out to more people, which means potentially more people watching my stuff who've never seen it before. So I really do appreciate it if you do that. Comment down below to boost the content as well, and subscribe and ring the bell icon if you haven't already, so YouTube actually tells you when I go live or upload a new video. And of course, consider following my social medias, linked down below in the description if you want to see more from me. And perhaps even follow my Discord server, or join my Discord server. It's totally free. It's the main hub of my community. I also host game events, call streams, and watch parties there, and I announce all my new uploads and streams there and announcements as well. So if YouTube somehow does not tell you when I go live or upload, at least my Discord will. And finally, if you want to support me directly financially, it'll be a big help if you donate, subscribe, or gift us on my website, Xanderhal.com/live, or support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Patreon, or buying merch. The Streamlabs link down below as well.
It is my personal opinion that Xanderhal has full-blown AIDS from Gonzo in the chat. Awesome. I can't wait to see this other Nux video. I don't know if we will. Nope, not this one.
When we all start.
Where was it? Oh, yeah. He responded to a shoe on head video. And I thought, boy, what a better mix of people than Shoe on Head and Nuxtaku. Did Xanderhal fall for one of those shitty light projector ads on Instagram? It certainly looks that way, doesn't it? It certainly looks that way.